Isa na namang kahindik-hindik na balita ang bumungad ngayon sa mundo ng social media, partikular na sa seguridad ng mahal nating Pilipinas. Tila nakakaalarma na ang mga banta at mga nangyayari sa ating bansa. Napag-alaman kasi na may mga nagpakilalang turista mula sa Taiwan. Ang lalaking ito na kumukuha ng video at litrato sa tabing dagat sa Palawan. Pero nagtaka ang ilang residente dahil sa anilay kakaibang kilos ng umano'y turista. Sa videong ito makikita na ang kinukunan pala niya ay ang barko ng Philippine Coast Guard na paalis galing sa Neva Bay sa Palawan na patungo sa West Philippine Sea. Mas naginala pa ang mga residente sa Palawan nang magkabit ang mga nagpakilalang Taiwanese na mga turista ng CCTV sa isang resort na kanilang nirentahan kahit walang pahintulot ng may-ari. At ang mga CCTV camera nakatutok sa karagatan.
Nagtataka po kami kung bakit sila nagbibideo doon na tumatago. Samantalang may mga guest po yung beach na yun ng mga foreigner na biglang dumaan yung mga Coast Guard na lalaking barko. Nagbibideo rin po yung mga foreigner pero hindi po hindi po doon sa tagong lugar. Sabi Taiwanese daw siya na halos mauntog na doon na nagtatago po. One time po nagpalipad po sila ng drone. Kinakabahan po kasi yung mga staff doon na bakit nagpapalipad ng drone na walang pahintulot at wala rin yung may-ari. Nagtataka po kami kasi bakit nakatutok po doon sa dagat na kung saan yung mga barko po ng mga Coast Guard sa Navy doon po dumadaan.
Ayon sa report, napag-alaman na ang mga nagpakilalang Taiwanese na mga turista ay mga Chinese nationals pala na hinihinalang nagsasagawa ng espionage o pang-iispiya. Konektado rin umano sila sa unang naarestong Chinese national na ayon sa NBI at AFP ay isa ring hinihinalang espiya. Matatandaan na itinanggi pa ng kanyang pamilya at ng kanyang asawang Pilipina ang aligasyon. Pero ayon sa AFP at NBI, napakaraming ebidensya umano ang nakuha nila, lalo na ang kanyang cellphone na may mga litrato na kanyang kuha mula sa mga kampo ng militar, litrato ng mga barko at mga kagamitan ng militar. Kaya aasahan na umano ng taong bayan na sa pagkakaaresto umano kay Deng ay marami pang susunod na maaarestong mga Chinese national spy na nagmamanman rin dito sa bansa. Ilalahad rin umano nila sa publiko ngayong araw ng Huwebes. Kukumplituhin muna nila umano ang mga ebidensya na kanilang nakuhang mga aparatos. Siseryosuhin umano nila ang ipapataw na parusa sa mga Chinese spy na maaaresto, lalo pat nakataya umano rito ang seguridad at kapayapaan ng ating mahal na Pilipinas. Naglabas rin sila ng mga litrato ng naarestong Chinese spy habang nakadetene doon. Makikitang halos walang galos o sugat man lang ang Chinese para pabulaanan ang alegasyon ng pamilya ng nasabing espiya at asawang Pilipina na tinorture umano ito. Sa ginanap na pagdinig ng House Quad Committee, uminit ang tensyon sa pagitan ng magkabilaang kampo habang dininig ang kaso patungkol sa anomalya sa Bureau of Customs at sa mga iligal na droga na pumasok sa bansa na galing China. Uminit ang ulo ni Congressman Abante dahil sa mga sagot ng di umano'y fall guy ng BOC at base sa kanilang patuloy na pag-iimbestiga at pagsisiyasat. Isang nakakagulat na testimonya ng di umano'y dating fixer ng Bureau of Customs na gumastos raw siya ng 5 million pesos para makapasok sa Davao Group, isang grupo na tinawag niyang pinakamakapangyarihan sa custom na may malaking ugnayan sa bansa ng China. Sa kabila ng pangako ng mabilisang pagproseso ng mga shipment, napag-alaman na ang sistema ng tara o pagbabayad ng grace money ay isang pangkaraniwang hakbang upang makaiwas sa pag-hold ng mga container. Ngunit, hindi lang umano mga simpleng opisyal ang kasali sa operasyon. Base sa kanyang testimonya, ipinakita niyang walang mangyayaring smuggling kung walang blessing mula sa mga nakakataas. Tulad ng mga matataas na tao sa Davao, kabilang umano ang anak ng dating Pangulong Duterte na si Pulong Duterte at ang di umano'y asawa ng Vice President Sara Duterte na si Atty. Mans Carpio. Dahil dito unti-unti nang naliliwanagan ng Quadcom patungkol sa kung paano tumatakbo ang korupsyon, partikular na sa kung paano at bakit nakakapasok sa bansa ang mga Chinese national kahit na walang kaukulang dokumento at malayang nakakapaghasik ng lagim dito sa bansa. Panuurin Pakinggang mabuti at kayo na ang bahalang humusga. Ngunit bago tayo magpatuloy, huwag kalimutang i-like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more updates and for more upcoming videos. Maraming salamat!
Thank you.
Okay.
Comsec, please include in the
Mr.
list
Chair.
of persons to be invited, Commissioner Rubio of Bureau of Customs. Yes, Congressman Akop, with the indulgence of...
With the indulgence of the Honorable Castro. Attorney, para bang ang sinasabi mo, yung ibang opisina ng customs may TARA system, o alam nila yung TARA system, pero yung legal office ng customs, walang alam. Yun po ba ang ibig nyo sabihin? Tinatanong ko po kayo. Kasi yun ang parang message na pinadadala o sinasabi nyo sa amin. Palagi mong sinasabi, you are with the legal service of the Bureau of Customs. Para bang sinasabi mo, lahat, yung mga ibang opisina ng Bureau of Customs, alam nila, o may TARA system, yung opisina nyo lang ang wala. Would that be correct?
Your Honor, from the testimonies of...
What? Ang tanong ko po would that be correct, attorney?
Can I explain, Your Honor? Because from the testimonies of Commissioner Faeldon and Commissioner Lapenyan, Your Honor, it involves the processing of
That is not my
importations,
question,
Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman. May I ask that the resource person appropriately answer my question? Is that the message you're trying to tell us? Na yung legal service office ng Bureau of Customs, wala pong kaalam-alam sa existing na TARA system sa Bureau of Customs?
For the record, Your Honor, I mean, from our records, Your Honor, we're trying administrative cases.
Hindi ko po tinatanong kung ano po yung trabaho niyo, attorney.
And, Your Honor, please.
Sandali lang. Nagsasalita pa ako. Malapit na kitang i-move to cite you in contempt. Bihira kong ginagawa yun, pero ikaw malapit ka na. Mr. Chair, may I request that the resource person be directed to answer my question with a yes or no?
Attorney, please answer the query of Congressman Akop.
Then my answer is yes, Your Honor.
It's yes na kayo po sa legal service na Bureau of Customs, wala kayong alam at walang TARA system doon sa inyo.
Can I explain, Your Honor?
Sumagot ka na muna bago ka mag-explain. Di ba? Pag may question yes. Tinuruan ka rin siguro sa law na sagutin mo muna ng yes and then you explain.
Okay, my answer is yes, Your Honor, because in the current cases that we handle, particularly on administrative cases, Your Honor, we don't have a case wherein a individual personnel of the BOC is charged with a TARA system or receiving TARA system. Even the criminal cases that we handle with the DOJ and criminal in the court, Your Honor, as far as the records or my knowledge is concerned, Your Honor, we don't have a case on that, Your Honor. So that's why I have suggested earlier on, Your Honor, about the circumstances that Mr. Taguba mentioned, Your Honor. Sorry, Your Honor, that's...
Mr. Chair, I do not want to take more of the time of the Honorable Castro. I'll stop here.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Congressman Akop. Let me just get 30 seconds of your
Okay.
time, if I may. Just a follow-up question. Kasi ang legal department that Attorney Langkay heads, apparently, according to him, has no knowledge about the TARA system. Tanungin kaya natin yung nagbibigay ng TARA. Mark Taguba, inamin mo naman na ang kasalanan mo ay yung nagbibigay ka ng TARA, di ba?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Okay, kasama ba ang legal department sa TARA?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Okay, so thank you. Now you may proceed, Congresswoman Castro.
Okay, so related po sa command responsibility, no? Kanina, Mr. Chair, inamin naman ng former commissioners natin dito, no, si former Commissioner Faeldon and La Peña about the TARA at alam nila yon. So gaano po ba ito kalawak itong sinasabing lagayan system dito sa BOC? Sabihin ko ng lagayan system para para po mas malinaw sa mga nakikinig sa atin. Kasi magkaiba may dalawang definition kasi ang TARA, no? So, Commissioner, gaano kalawak ang TARA system dito sa BOC? Kasi inamin nyo, meron nung panahon ninyo. So, hanggang saan ba yan? Umaabot ba yan hanggang sa inyo? Yung mga lagayan system na yan. So, ganun din po yung tanong ko kay former Commissioner La Peña.
Yung last question, ma'am, hindi po umabot sa akin. Pero gaano kalawak, I believe malawak po. Kasi ito yung, bigla ko lang ng premise, ma'am, para makita nyo how big the TARA system is at gaano siya ka-prevalent. For my first 6 months, I asked the 12,000 importers and brokers to submit to us list of BOC officials that received TARA. I think until today, wala pang nagsasubmit. So it's a tango. Sayaw to ng dalawa. That's why nakakatakot, mami, kasi walang willing na magreklamong importer and broker. So that's why this
Sige.
TARA system continues
Siyempre po,
to exist.
Sige, putulin ko po kayo doon, Siyempre po, walang magsasabi ng gano'n dahil magkakadamayan yung nagbibigay ng TARA at tumatanggap ng lagay. So, pero kayo po as most responsible po sa BOC, na kayo yung chair, commissioner, chief commissioner, kayo yung meron dapat na initiative na dapat na mag-imbestiga. Kasi hindi nyo pwedeng sabihin na kahit na alam nyo yan, tapos yung broker, sila mismo ang tatanungin ninyo. Di ba? Dapat, dahil meron din naman kayo sigurong alam sa intelligence, dapat kayo po yung nag-iimbestiga. So, hindi nyo po pwedeng ipaubaya doon sa mga broker or doon sa mga nagbibigay ng TARA. Tama po ba ako? Kayo yung command responsibility doon Kayo yung may command doon sa BOC.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir
Tama
Chair.
po. Nag-imbestiga ako during my time. That's why I delisted more than 4,000 importers and brokers. But prosecuting them is another thing, ma'am, because without witnesses and evidence directly showing that nagbibigay sila, ang hirap mag-prosecute, ma'am. But in my term, the best I could have done is to delist them, yung more than 4,000. Ang hirap kasi kung walang mag-aamin na importer and broker na ito si Commissioner Faeldon, binigyan ko ng 5,000 na TARA. So yun yung panawagan ko since day one, and I still calling all the importers and brokers until today na please come forward, help the country. Isumbong nila yung kasayawan nila, katango nila sa loob ng customs. Because talagang we are losing so much money every day.
Yes, mukhang kulang po, Mr. Chair, yung ginawa po ni Chairman Faeldon doon sa meron kayong 4,000 importers, meron kayong dinilist. Di ba katulad ng ginagawa ng PNP or PIDEA, nagkakaroon ng, parang siniset up o nagkakaroon ng within. Sa inyo po, paano ba mag-imbestiga kung talagang merong naglalagay or tumatanggap? So, doon sa 4,000 na dinilista nyo at doon din sa mga empleyado ng BOC, wala po kayong na-apprehend. At tingin ko kulang ang ginawa ninyo ang commissioner, doon sa effort ninyo. Kasi this is graft and corruption Pinanatili natin ang graft and corruption by not doing something. O kung meron man kayong ginagawang something, kulang, Mr. Chair. Si Commissioner La Peña.
Thank you, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. Well, when I was the commissioner, as I've said earlier, I have talked with the importers, and that's one of the input, the feedback that was given me. And then I asked them also, can you help me address this problem? But nobody came forward. So what I did was to reshuffle yung mga tao na sa mga opisina. And then I told my the collectors that if you do not hit your target, you will be replaced. At which I did just that. And then at the end of the year, I did not have. I just have about 1 year. I have a surplus collection of 18 billion pesos. So it worked. But what I'm recommending is
Meron po kayong, Mr. Chair, may nahuli kayo na naglalagay at saka tumatanggap ng lagay?
none, Your Honor. Because
Kahit po
nobody
ba,
wants to.
Mr. Chair, ito kulang din, Mr. Chair. No, alam nila yung existing na problem, graft and corruption yun yung lagay system Alam, pero yung effort po nung ating nasa mataas na pwesto po ng BOC ay hindi yun hindi yun nagawa na masupil. So katulad pala, naalala ko na, yung ginagawa ng PIDEA, PNP, kung talagang gusto nilang mahuli po talaga, diba? Katulad ng parang buy-bust operation. Sana may ginawa kayo sa loob ninyo, sa BOC, kung gusto niyo talagang masolve itong TARA system na ito. Kasi alam niyo naman na meron Ayan, nagsasabi na nga yung broker, tsaka yung legal lang nga hindi alam, kayo alam nyo. So, dapat meron kayong extra effort po kasi kayo militar kayo dati kayo sa intelligence mas may alam kayo kung paano hulihin yung mga gumagawa ng hindi maganda sa gobyerno, di po ba? So kulang po yung naging effort. Tama po ba, Chairman La Peña, Mr. Chair?
Actually, Madam Chair, and Your Honor, I did that. And then when we were just about to implement, nag-back out yung yung subject na magtutulong sana sa atin. At the last moment, nag-back out And then I confronted her. Sabi niya, Sir, baka yung aking negosyo makompromiso So I understood her. I cannot force her to continue with the project. So that's how it is with the other importers, with the other businessmen, Your Honor. I did it.
So, Mr. Chair, hindi lang ito applicable sa droga, Sa iba pang mga, even ngayon, di ba, sa Quinta Committee, iniimbestigahan din natin bakit tumataas ang presyo. So, mahalagang makita rin talaga natin dito yung mahalagang papel ng BOC, dito sa pag-apprehend sa mga, katulad ng mga nagbibigay ng TARA or tumatanggap ng TARA. Kasi talagang kahit na sino tanungin nyo, alam naman yan na may nangyayaring lagayan sa BOC. Kaya lang hindi yan mapigil at hindi yan masawata. Kasi kahit na kayo po nasa BOC, na quote-unquote, parang natotolerate natin na wala tayong ginagawang extra effort para matigil ito. Siguro pagdating ni Commissioner Rubio, tanungin din natin ano yung nangyayari ngayon. So, yun po. Mr. Chair, yan na po yung last na question.
Okay, thank you, Congresswoman Franz Castro. Clarification lang, Attorney Langkay, simula nung 2009 na napasok ka sa Customs, nasa legal department ka na?
Yes, sir.
So you've never been a deputy port collector ng Manila Port?
Hindi po.
Never?
Never.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Sige, okay, thank you. The next to
Deputy
interpolate...
collector, yes, sir. As deputy collector of Port
That's
of
my
Manila.
question. So you were a deputy collector
Yes, for operations, sir.
ng operations,
Yes,
tama?
sir. Yes, sir.
So, alam mo na merong TARA.
Ay,
Alam mo siguro mayroong TARA. Dahil sabi mo kanina, the reason why you don't know because you've been in the legal department. And kinonfirm naman kanina ni Taguba na hindi kasama sa listahan ng bibigyan ng TARA, yung legal. Pero nasa port operations ka
concurrent po ako sa legal service at the same time sa
So hindi mo
deputy
alam
collector
yun.
po.
Paninindigan mo yun, attorney.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sige, salamat. We will go, babalikan natin yon mamaya. So,
Mr.
here-
Chair, gusto ko lang pong sabihin in manifestation na dahil lang po sa TARA system na ito, tumataas ang bilihin ng mga commodities, ng mga important goods. Whether it be rice, lahat. Pero pang rice smuggling tumataas po ang bilihin. Kawawa po ang bayang Pilipino, lalo na ang mga mahihirap tungkol dito. Dahil lang sa TARA system na yan. Dapat mahinto na yan. Tama ba ako, Commissioner Peldon? Dapat mahinto na yan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ikaw naman, Commissioner Peña.
Yes, Honor. Your Honor.
Oo. Ikaw, attorney. At may hinto na, di ba?
It should be stopped, Your Honor.
Oh. Yun lang po, Mr. Chair.
During your time kasi, when you were the Deputy Port Collector of Manila, maraming ukay-ukay eh. At dumaan sa area nyo. At nang dumaan yan sa inyo, lumusot yan, alam nyong illegal yan. So dahil merong tara. Anyway, babalikan din natin yan. So I have here a list of the members who wish to interpolate. No? Tapos na po si Congresswoman Castro. Now we will recognize Congressman J. Kung Hun. And then after Congressman Kung Hun, Congressman Junicio. And then Congressman Gutierrez. And then Congressman Ortega. And then shift na po tayo sa EJK. Ito lang ho yung nag-manifest na magtatanong sila sa topic ng drug. So, Congressman Kung Hun, if you're not around, so we can call the next interpellator, Congressman Ernix Junicio. Wala rin? So, kung now we proceed with Congressman Rog Gutierrez. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, kanina na tanong na rin naman po ni our fellow colleagues here, including si Congressman Luistro, most of the questions that we had, mostly we wanted to focus on yung TARA system, and nabanggit naman ni Mr. Mark Taguba, as confirmed by Commissioner Faldon, so far what we have known. Just some points po, no, just to corroborate siguro, I'd like to direct some questions to Mr. Guban, if the committee would hear it. So, Mr. Guban, through the Honorable Chairman, matanong lang po, no? You too have had an experience in this TARA system. You have insights po, tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
And this is stemming from your experience as, I believe you were an intel officer po ba? Or ano po yung position niyo dati?
I am an intelligence officer, Your Honor.
Opo. Just to give us a brighter idea, kasi alam naman po natin, in general terms, yung TARA system would be a way by means yung ating mga brokers, mga importers would collude with allegedly with public officers in the customs to bring in goods illegally, either through, I think there's technical smuggling and actual smuggling po, no? These are the usual crimes that would be associated with the TARA system. But I'd just like to ask po, no? Because sa amin po, for example, hindi naman po kami from that industry. We don't understand po yung structure. Yung Bureau of Customs is generally, that's a national body po, no? Pero do we operate like our other agencies na by region po ito? Or ano po yung structure ng BOC?
Yes, Your Honor, by district. Like, for example, Your Honor, we have the different districts in Batangas Port, Subic, Davao, Cebu. Then in Manila, we have two ports, the Manila North Harbor and the South Harbor.
So, Mr. Guban, sorry, makat lang po. No? So, generally, ang agencies po natin, kasi nalalaman natin, for example, when we're talking about DepEd, when we're talking about DOLE, it's geographical po, no? Based on regions, generally, ang ating division. We lump cities and municipalities into provinces, provinces into regions, and regions into the national whole. Pagdating po sa customs, it does not follow yung ating municipalities and city structure po, no? It's depending on the port.
Depending on the port, Your Honor. Not exactly the geographical situation, Your Honor.
Okay, so ang pinaka-basic structure natin would be district. The port
District, Your Honor. Port
And
district.
we're only talking of seaports po ba? Hindi po kasama yung mga airport?
Kasama
or-
po yung airport, Your Honor. International Airport in Clark, Cebu, Mactan International Airport. Then, of course, the NAIA.
Okay, and I'm sure our current representative from Customs can confirm naman po, no? This is just general knowledge, tama po?
That's correct, Your Honor.
So we have districts, collectors district, ano po yung tawag natin dito?
District Collector, Your Honor. The
District.
head of office, Your Honor, on that particular district ay collector, district collector, Your Honor.
The pinaka-basic structure will be yung port, yung districts natin, and then you have the district collector, which is the head. And they report, meron bang regional, meron bang by Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, or straight to the Bureau?
Yes, Your Honor, diretso na po yan sa Office of the Commissioner.
Okay, so the Office of the Commissioner, which is composed of how many commissioners nga po tayo?
One commissioner, Your Honor, and I think this are about 3 deputy commissioner and 1 assistant commissioner.
Yung deputy commissioners po natin, is that by operational area or different,
Nationwide, Your Honor.
nationwide, all three. So one commissioner, three deputies, and then yung district collectors po natin.
Yes, Your Honor.
Where does your intelligence office come into play?
Your Honor, we have also a Deputy Commissioner for Intelligence Group. Then to CIIS, Customs Intelligence and Investigation Service.
Okay. And ano po yung trabaho ng ating intelligence service?
Well, of course, Your Honor, we are gathering information who are those brokers and importers na illegally nag-i-import or fraudulently declaring goods na hindi tama at saka yung iba naman ay totally illegal or hindi lang technical smuggling kundi pure smuggling or outright smuggling.
So yung target po ng inyong intelligence work is usually in the outside, yung mga those who would collude po, no, yung importers and brokers.
Not only, Your Honor, that includes the inside because we are also working against the customs personnel, Your Honor.
So yung BOC, merong opisina sa loob under the Deputy Commissioner for Intelligence Service po, no, that works on both ends. It's to catch yung mga smugglers that are working for yung private persons and also against yung mga public officials po natin.
Yes, Your Honor.
And nabanggit po kanina nung ating legal officer po, no? Of course, the legal office would be more on the, in the name, legal side po, no? Pero sabi niya, tama po ba, Mr. Legal Officer of the BOC, na you mentioned wala kayong administrative case that you're aware of regarding yung TARA system?
Yes, Your Honor.
Even in the Sandigan, wala po tayong mga cases that you're not aware of, mga cases filed against Bureau of Customs?
I have a case which was, I think it's entrapment, Your Honor. It was conducted by NBI. But the case was dismissed by the regional trial court and pending admin case.
And these were yung cases po regarding yung smuggling po talaga? The entrapment was in relation to TARA particularly?
It's a, well, I don't know if I can discuss the circumstances, but it was a kind of a entrapment of a drop-off of a sum of money.
Okay, so it's in relation to graft and corruption within the BOC. So, which should be high related because of the field of BOC that would be in the customs industry. We're talking of how the graft is related to yung smuggling and technical smuggling, tama po. That would be the natural case because what other purpose would there be bribery po, no, in the BOC if not to smuggle?
That's correct.
So in a way, it's related. And sometimes po, we have related yung ating mga drugs cases, which is what brings us here to begin with. You mean to tell me, just to clarify po, no? So you are aware of yung mga drugs cases po natin?
In particular, sir, itong EMT case, we have had a conviction on this case, Your Honor.
So you've had a conviction in this case. And actually, part of the legal service is kayo po mismo ang nagpa-file ng mga kaso, no?
This was filed by the legal service, correct. And yeah, this has been, we have obtained a conviction on this case, but still under appeal. I did 3 accused filed an appeal, and the other one filed a motion for reconsideration. It's now pending before the court, regional trial court, and the Court of Appeals.
So like the legal service po, through the Honorable Chairman, like the intelligence service, I mean, ang legal service po is pointed outwards towards yung mga private persons, yung importers, yung brokers, and also inwards. You would also file cases po against your own. Tama po ba?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you mean to tell me po, just to confirm, in the case of Mr. Mark Taguba, in which supposedly yung sa EMT, yung with drugs are now related, and there was a mention of the TARA, you would still say na di nyo po alam na may TARA system?
In the EMT case, Your Honor, it's a case of, I suppose it was a case of misdeclaration, and then it was discovered upon source outside of the Philippines, and information came in that a certain shipment contains drugs. So when they acted on that active intelligence, they were able to follow the shipment, and they were able to follow and go to the site or location and found the items, Your Honor, the crates, metal crates containing this shabu, Your Honor.
But of course, since you are following this case, the allegations by Mr. Taguba that there is Tara system, that's the first time you've heard of it in your tenure in the BOC.
I've heard about the Tara system that was mentioned by Taguba during the Senate inquiry on the matter. I believe I can remember that it was published, it was aired live, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'll come back to that na po, no? Or perhaps in the next hearing when hopefully si Commissioner will join us because we want to take the input rin po of the BOC itself. But okay, we'll go back po siguro to Mr. Guban, please. With the
Pardon, sir?
indulgence of Chairman Acop. Mr. Guban, so going back to the question po, no, I just wanted to confirm kasi po with legal, yung ano yung organizational structure po nila. And like the intelligence service, they focus both on the outside and inside the BOC. And sa inyo naman po, intelligence service, and you were serving under, is this directly under the Deputy Commissioner for Intelligence?
The CIS Director, Your Honor. Kami
CIS
mga
Director.
personnel po, Director po ang nakaka-under sa amin directly.
And you operate nationwide po, or are you assigned per district?
Per district also, Your Honors.
So per district, saan ka na-assigned at your last post?
During that time at the Port of Manila.
Port of
Your
Manila,
Honor.
which is the biggest?
One among the biggest, Your
One
Honor.
amongst the biggest. So from your, how many years nga po yun, sir, that you mentioned? Your service
17 years.
Around 17 years of service in the BOC.
In
This
BOC.
was fully intelligence.
Yes, Your Honor.
And yung TARA system is nothing new to you.
Your Honor, wala pa ako sa Customs. I was with Economic Intelligence and Investigation Bureau before I became an intelligence officer in the Customs. TARA system is already there.
And it's always been the same, yung red lane, green lane, yellow lane.
Before, Your Honor, wala pa yan, asikuda. I think that was during the time of Commissioner Paraino na nag-modernize, din pinalitan na ng selectivity system because of the computerization. So, I think pagkapatapos ni Commissioner Paraino, then the next commissioner, I think that was Commissioner Morales, unti-unti na po nag-modernize, digitalize na po ang custom. So, ginawa na po yung selectivity system. So, nagkaroon na po niya ng super green lane, green, yellow, red, orange.
Well, Mr. Guban, through the Honorable Chairman, kasi nabanggit po earlier when it was being discovered, I think, by Congresswoman Luistro, very particular po no, yung pagbanggit ng TARA together with the expose of Mr. Taguba, na yung TARA po is in relation to the process, may green lane, yellow lane, red lane, and how it's able to ease the inflow of whether it's underdeclared or totally illegal po, no, in smuggled goods. Yun yung na-mention na process. But you mentioned time immemorial. So, even before the process of red, green, yellow, even before digitalization, may TARA. What was the very concept of TARA? Kung ganun po.
Your Honor, as if na mapabilis ang transaction para yung papel ay bumilis at hindi na masyado higpitan ng personnel. So, that is almost the same, Your Honor, partnership. Hindi na examine ng 100%, maybe 10 or 20%. Then at the same time, wag na dumaan masyado sa x-ray. Saglit na lang, then okay na because of the TARA. Then that is also the time, Your Honor, na hindi mo na ngayon madidetect kung ano ang laman ng container, kung ano ang nasa loob. Kahit na anong indeklara nila, baliwala na po sa mga empleyado ng custom dahil connected or may TARA na. So may per container na.
So, whether or not the process was in relation to digital or mano-mano or kung ano man previous, merong TARA in the sense na there is influence being peddled to connect private persons to public officers to facilitate yung smuggling. Yun po yung basic na sinasabi.
Yes, Your
po
Honor,
ninyo.
that is the very basic.
But if I'm not mistaken, kayo po ba, Mr. Guban, or si Mr. Taguba, yung nag-mention na may central command?
There was a central command, Your Honor, pero si Mr. Taguba, binanggit niya rin po yan.
Nabanggit rin. But you are aware also of the central. Can you
Yes, that is-
elucidate po, ano po yung central command that you're referring to?
Well, I think, Your Honor, this started the central command from the time of Commissioner Paildon na kung naglagay silang lahat represented para mapabilis ang proseso. I'm not mistaken, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Pero doon po yun ang central command na sila ang nagbibigay ng go signal to all the districts, including our offices, different offices, kung mali or hahabulin ng container o hindi. Then that was also the experience of Mark Tagoba.
So it's not innately wrong. Yung central command pala is just a structural thing.
That was already part of the structure, Your Honor.
Okay, it's a structural thing, but it's the exposure to TARA which lends it to
The most
abuse.
expensive, Your Honor, because it will not be done. Ang taro doon sa Central Command, if there is no clearance from the higher officer, they will never impose any single centavo there if those people within that command does not have an approval, Your Honor.
And maybe just a quick confirmation from Commissioner Faildon that this is the same finding that you've had despite during your tenure?
Yes, Your Honor. We created the Central Command to facilitate the processing of, that's one reason, the processing of, for trade facilitation. Number two is, because nalaman ko nga na mayroong TARA system. And every port have their own activity there. That's why the command system is the one who issues yung alert. And the representative of that command center is from the different, there are 6 deputy commissioners. So it's, hindi po siya 3, 6 po siya. So these are the experts, these are our technocrats who are homegrown there, understands the nitty-gritties of importation. They have representative in that command center. And this is headed by Deputy Commissioner Gambala at that time. This was also subject to some court litigation filed by some of the importers, but it was dismissed. In fact, it was also reinstated by one of the succeeding commissioner because it was really good. Kasi ang hirap, 38 ports, kanya-kanyang alert sila eh. We do not want to burden the importation of commodities. That's why the purpose of the CENTCOM, Central Command, is to centralize the issuances of pag i-hold mo yung isang commodity. Kasi that is where the corruption starts. I-alert ka nila and then maglalagay ka para i-release. So we put that purposely to facilitate the trade. Nawala na yung kanya-kanya silang turf. So those representatives coming from the different 6 deputy commissioners' office come up with a collegial decision whether this commodity will be alerted or not. So it is a collegial body. It is also organized to stop the TARA system. Whether it become effective or not. That is why we have several apprehensions like the Mighty, who later on we file a case. Nanalo nga po tayo ng 33 billion. We have apprehended several yacht. May aeroplano pa kaming. So those are the result of that. But some importers did not like it because siyempre tatamaan ka kung meron kang nitty-gritties na ginagawa. So it's really the two sides of the coin. Who is nagsasabi ng totoo dito? So I leave it to your judgment whether it is. Yes, there was a case filed against it, but it was dismissed. The court find it legal and within the authority of the commissioner to put that up. That's why one of my successors instated it later on. Yeah, they called it operation center, but it functions the same. So I don't see it as something that is being projected by other sectors. It was really there to facilitate the trade and to curb the TARA system, Your Honor.
Thank you, former Commissioner. So just to clarify po, no, in your opinion, the creation of this operational center was to fight a parang decentralized TARA within yung mga district.
Yes, Your Honor, we did not just create that. During my time, we put CCTVs nationwide in all the ports. So we have eyes on all the ports and all the offices. That's why many people do not like it. In fact, there were hundreds of officials na nahuli namin through that system. Dahil nakatuto kami. And we filed cases, may na-dismiss, meron captain ng Customs Police, nahuli namin dyan sa Tara-Tara na yan. and was filed a case, dismissed. So, it was doing good when I was the one running it. That's why may mga umayaw doon sa sistema kasi nabago eh. Yung little turf nila in every port, nawala yon. So, we removed their power to issue alert. Kasi yan ang nag-uumpisa yan, i-alert kita pag di ka magbigay. So tinanggal po namin yun, naging centralized siya.
Thank you, Commissioner. So at least we got your opinion na it was to combat yung mga little TARA systems nationwide. However, the allegation, I believe, of either if it was Mr. Guban or Mr. Taguba is that naging central na rin po yung TARA. Dahil may central command, it became a smaller world where these are the only people whose palms you had to grease. Allegedly po, no? But I understand where you're coming from po, Commissioner. So with that said po, no, so we have now, although the structure is supposedly by district, naging centralized na po ito. And it reminds me of a statement that you made, Mr. Guban, yung may tinatawag kang mafia that would control the BOC. And you stand by that allegation po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you mentioned earlier that you've served 17 years in the BOC. And TARA system has always existed. So this mafia has always existed?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
But this mafia would be composed of which personalities po ba?
Well, different. That was during the time of the administration of the past administration, Your Honor, that there was a Davao Mafia.
Yes, you mentioned particularly the Davao Mafia.
Yes,
and at
Your
the
Honor.
time you mentioned both officials, private persons, and there were importers that were participating. Although yung focus nyo po was mostly on yung public officials po, no?
Public officials and private, Your Honor, because they are, sila po ang in fact, hindi yung commissioner ang nagko-control, but the Davao Mafia ang nagko-control ng customs during that time, Your Honor.
Paano po yun nangyayari? If I understand the head of the BOC would be the commissioner po, or at least the deputy commissioners, how could you say that a mafia controls the BOC?
There were calls na tumatawag. According to our reports, may tawag from the Davao to the commissioner, then the commissioner down the line pababa po.
Sige po. So you're focusing mostly on the Davao Mafia. But you mentioned also that since time immemorial, before your 17 years, meron ng TARA. And it seems to be that what you are saying is yung TARA and the Mafia are closely linked. So even before this previous administration, may Mafia rin po ba?
Inside of the customs, Your Honor, there is a group of syndicate people, Your Honor, na talaga nag-influence pagdating dyan sa TARA system.
So nagbago lang in the past administration kasi the Mafia was now outside.
Different, Your Honor, yun. Yung iba yung before ng administrasyon. Ngayon naman, Honor, kung sino po ang nakalagay doon, from the commissioner down, hindi po mawawala ang TARA pag hindi inaaprobahan galing sa taas.
But in either case, this is a case of influence peddling.
Yes, Your Honor.
Whether sa loob man, in the case of the Mafia that existed prior to the last administration, or a hybrid in which public officers in the BOC and yung sa Davao Mafia, it's all about influence peddling to facilitate this smuggling.
Yes, Your Honor. That is all about influence peddling.
Siguro po, Mr. Chair, I'd have further questions for the BOC mismo. I'd like to reserve it siguro po for when Commissioner Rubio is here. So for now, I'd like to terminate. Thank you po, Mr. Guban. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Rog Gutierrez.
Mr. Chair.
The next to interpolate.
Mr. Chair, I have one
Yeah.
follow-up question sana. Kasi
Sige.
medyo
Okay, but
na-intrigue
let
ako
me
dun.
first acknowledge the presence of our Senior Deputy Speaker, Congressman Aurelio Dong Gonzales, and our Deputy Speaker, Congressman David J.J.C. Suarez. So, please proceed.
Yes, with the indulgence of the next interpellator. Mr. Guban, sinabi mo yung Davao Mafia and there are several calls made to the customs and you in fact said, kanina lang, I was listening, na hindi actually ang nagko-control sa BOC and Commissioner. Actually, it's the order directly from the Davao Mafia. Would you know? Kasi you've mentioned about certain individuals composing the Davao Mafia. Would you know, for example, as an intelligent officer at the time, who makes these calls?
Your Honor,
Who basically orders things around?
Your Honor, based on my experience from the call of Davao, like for example,
Off mo muna yan. Sige. Okay. Try again. Try mo ulit.
Wala na. Okay. Yes, hello. Okay. Ay, sorry. Before, Your Honor, I experienced during the time of Commissioner Paeldon na there was an instruction directly to me na i-release mo yung container because there was call from, well, sa bibig niya nang gagaling from Pulong in Mans. Then Commissioner call the director, get off that container because there was call.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For fairness sake, I'd like to solicit the what would be your position on that? What is your reaction that you that directly from you ordered that SAT to, I don't know, kayo ba ho yung yes.
I would like to request the resource person who gave the instructions to him.
It was not Commissioner Faildon who gave that instruction that accordingly, based on the information you gathered, Congressman Pulong Duterte and Mans Carpio ordered the commissioner to do some things around customs. Tama po ba?
Your Honor, to our director, yes, Your Honor.
It was not Commissioner Faildon.
According to him, because of the call coming from the commissioner.
Okay. Anyway, thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Adyong. The next to interpolate is Congressman Paulo Ortega. You have
Mr.
10
Chair.
minutes.
I have a few questions directed to Mr. Jimmy Guban. Pero we have already seen po na through the interpellations of the Honorable Jinky Luistro at saka kay Honorable Rog na it is an automated and it is a large-scale system dedicated to battle corruption. But parang through the question and answers ko kanina, parang it is an intricate system, an updating and modernization system. Pero parang mas na-modernize yata yung corruption sa yung mga nangyayari sa loob. Kasi nga, when it's centralized, isa lang po pinapanggalingan ng order unless na ang ginagawa sana is hiwa-hiwalay po yung gaya na dating gawin nila na parang devolve po yung function. So the TARA system in itself, Sir Jimmy, parang ang dating po ng TARA system is mas napapadali po yata yung mga nangyayari kung pabor dun sa taong gagawa ng kalokohan o may connection sa loob. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor, mas pabor sa kanila.
So parang siya, magical system po talaga. Hindi siya designed to matanggal po yung traditional na sistema. And I would believe na baka pati po itong mga magnetic lifters natin, saka mga x-ray po natin, itong magnetic lifter, yung x-ray, di siyempre, we would speculate na parang magical na rin po itong mga to. Kumbaga, depende po sa dadaan, depende po sa kliyente na papasok. Parang ganun po ba?
Yes, Your Honor. Lalo pagkakaibigan na, kahit tumatagal ang container sa loob ng yarda, madali lang ulit yun i-process, tumatiming lang sila. So yan po ang...
Sige po. Tuloy nyo lang.
Yan po, pag dumaan po sa x-ray, pagka-enrolled na, so hindi na masyado bumubukas yung x-ray. Binibilang na lang. I'm doing this for a change, Your Honor, for reformation. Because I'm very thankful that the Honorable Commissioner has also admitted that there was really corruption. For a change, Your Honor, and for reformation. Ang TARA po ay automatic. Pag hindi ka enrolled, nahihirapan ang processor dahil naiipit minsan ang dokumento, natatagalan mailabas. Imbis na 2 days, 3 days, inaabot ng weeks, inaabot ng months. So kung enrolled ka ho sa lahat ng offices na dadaanan, and even I'm sure, kahit paano pinadadalhan din po ang legal. So, I could not tell you, Your Honor, that is the truth. I experienced that already. I have so many friends from legal. Kayang baguhin na po natin ngayon. Mawawala po yun pag isa lang ang opisina talaga tumanggi. Pag ang legal tumanggi, Your Honor, ipapuputol ko yung ulo ko. Pag nagdesisyon sila na walang lagay. Pag nandun sa kanilang dokumento. Now, that is a very big problem, Your Honor. If we want to clean the custom, let's all clean from head down the line. Dahil kung isa lang po ang unit na magki-clean, hindi po mangyayari. At hindi po yun mangyayari kung walang blazing the Honorable Commissioner. Dahil bingi-bingihan pero nandoon sa likod ang kanyang kolektor. Hindi akin yan. Kanila yan. So, Your Honor, that is based on my personal experience for about 27 years in intelligence, Your Honor.
And Mr. Chair, to manifest lang, I'm sure meron pa rin pong mga ganitong problema na existing right now with the interpellations of our
chairman kanina. Sir Jimmy, would it be safe to assume na kung wala po kayo dun sa sistema na yon, sa TARA system na yon, ibig sabihin automatic listado na kayo na madidelis, yung mga part na kayo ng mga smuggler, if you're not willing to cooperate and be part of that so-called intricate na system po?
Madidelay po yung proseso, Your Honor, yung dokumento mo. Or baka mamaya, mawawala pa kahit nakalads ka na, kahit computerized ngayon eh. Kung halimbawa, 1,000, Your Honor, maano ko rin po kanina yung 2.5 na kinumpute ng dalawang kagalang-galang na commissioner po. Hindi po itong 2.5 times 2,000. Ang bawat port po about 8 or 10,000 containers dyan ang lumalabas daily. So yung nakatara dyan sa about 6,000. Yung Green Lane, Super Green Lane, kahit multinational yan, in fact, nagbibigay pa yung mga facilitator niyan eh. So yung TARA system po, it's about not only 27 billion, it's about 100 billion. So doon lang po yung sa isang port. Eh pag ang port pa po ng Manila International Container Port, Subic, Batangas, Davao, Cebu. So ilang ports po yun araw-araw na nawawala. That's for about 100,000 dapat po yan, Your Honor. Ang kwintadas po niyan mula sa taas pababa, it's more than 100,000, not only 30,000. 10,000, maybe sa isang unit lang yun, o sa unit lang namin yun sa CIS. Unit ng police. Mas worse, pagka ang examiner appraiser. Then of course, the office of the commissioner and the office of the district collector. So kung yun po ay mawawala, magiging malinis, mapiprevent po natin ang precursors ng droga, mapiprevent po natin yung illegal importation mismo ng droga, din makakatulong po sa ekonomiya. In fact, pag maganda po ang management ng custom, kahit po dollar salting, matitrace natin, then economically will improve, Your Honors. Including the agricultural products, wala pong mawawala pag wala po yung TARA. Dahil maano ko po, may dagdag ko po, yung import commodity clearance ay nanggagaling po yung sa ibang agency, government agency concern. Pag meron na po noon, nandun na po ang bilangan ng TARA. Para po makapag-import, halimbawa bigas, bibigyan ng BPI, baril, bibigyan ng PNP. So lahat po yun kasi, all it involves money pagdating po sa customs. Sana po mawala.
Yung nga po, Mr. Che, no, we can clearly see na dito po lifeblood po kasi itong parang part of the big lifeblood of our economy, itong mga ports natin, saka yung mga pumapasok, saka lumalabas, no. And Sir Jimmy, talagang based sa mga nasabi niyo po, no, talagang maniniwala ka talaga na did modernization help, or hanggat may mga kamay po dyan sa likod na pumipindot ng go signal, kahit anong klase pong sistema, kaya mong palusutan dito sa ating mga ports, saka sa ating customs. Tama po ba yun, Sir Jimmy? Would you agree?
Yes, Your Honor. Pero nakakapag-abot lang tayo ng international standard. Pero yung corruption po, hindi po nalilisen because of that modernization. Ang kailangan po doon, hindi malaman ng examiner at saka ng empleyado kung kanino yung kargamento. Hindi po ma-identify ang container na ito kay Juan de la Cruz. Ang kailangan po doon yung accreditation, yung account management office. Yung office na yon ay dapat po sigurado na yung mga incorporator, no, SEC-registered company ay siguradong tama, hindi po bogus. Kasi wala pong makakasuhan dahil from amo, napaka-importante, doon pa lang po ay bogus na yung mga tao. So lahat po ng dokumento, kung yun ay itatama yung warehouse, itatama po yung address, wala pong makakalusot na smuggling. Ngayon, pagdating po sa import permit, manggagaling po yun kung saan concerned agency. So mawawala po yun. Now, ang kailangan po, hindi alam yung amo ng examiner at hindi rin alam ng examiner kung kaninong consignee para po mawala yung tarahan nila, gulo. Then at the same time, Your Honor, the examiner must be reassigned 2 or 3 months from the Port of Manila to Port of Batangas and the other ports para hindi po ma-identify kung anong produkto ang meron doon. Your Honor, there must also be a pre-inspection coming from the port of origin. Kasi hindi naman po yan makakalusot eh. Doon po sa bill of lading, yan ang kontrata ng importer, exporter. Nandun na po yung goods. Pag nagkamali po doon sa pagdeklara, ibig sabihin may kasabwat galing sa port of origin. Your Honor, the same with my case in the case of Mr. Taguba. Galing po sa port of origin, alam na yun kung sino nun ang nag-export. So, hindi po makakalusot ang smuggling, Your Honor. Ang merong pre-inspection representative, lalo na po kung meron din ang government ng particular bansa or country na mag-certify na yun ay tama, na importation, tama ang deklarasyon. At hindi po alam ng examiner at ang intelligence operative ng police, kahit po ang deputy commissioner, isa lang po dapat ang nakakaalam sa concerned product, kung ano ang product. And again, Your Honor, doon po sa AMO, nandoon po yung importable materials. Kung ano po yung naka-accredit sa AMO, Account Management Office, yun lang dapat ang import. Kasi nakalagay po yun doon bago po aprobahan ng AMO. Kung ang AMO po ay under ng intelligence or under ng Office of the Commissioner, dapat po nire-review. Yung po ba na ini-import ng isang consignee ay nandoon sa inaprobahan according doon sa AMO accreditation. If it is not, wala po doon, Your Honor, ay dapat wag na ipayagan. Kahit to general merchandise. Pag nag-i-inspect po ako niya, pinag-define ko kung anong klaseng general merchandise. Kung yan ba ay shoes na ano, swelas lang, yan ba ay kettle na ano. So yan po, Your Honor, ay power po yan ng customs. Wala pong magkakaroon ng smuggling kung lahat po yun ay tatama. Thank you, Your Honor.
So with that statement, Mr. Chair, Ginong Jimmy, nung paparating na po yung shipment na from Indonesia is, syempre alam na po nung incoming na may shabu po yung shipment na yun. Tama po ba?
Your Honor, yung pre-shipment, ang customs po, bago dumating ang kargamento, may dokumento na. Meron na po kaming advance foreign manifest. I'm sure the district collector, the Office of the Commissioner, even sa aming opisina po, meron na kaming advance. Hindi pa ho dumarating yung barko, may dokumento na kami kung ano deklarasyon ng doon. So pagka minis-declared po, hindi malalaman. Pero po, galing po doon sa port of origin, alam na po yun kung ano ang laman ng barko. Anong laman ng container, rather. Kung anong laman ng container.
Pero yun nga, pag hindi siya declared, pero there has to be someone who knows that there is an incoming na ganun po from our end. Tama po ba? Alam na rin nila na may parating na.
Yes, Your Honor, kasi hindi po maglalakas loob yun mag-import kung hindi alam o hindi timbrado sa district o sa port na pagbabagsakan. Ibig sabihin, may linya na sila. Nag-uusap na sila, may presyo na yan kung magkano, kung paano gagawin. In my case, Your Honor, that is already more than 30 days. Abandon shipment, hindi nila ginagalaw. Tapos nung hinuli namin, kami ang kinulong. I'm very sure, the Honorable Commissioner nandito po. Abandon shipment yung hinuli namin. Wala pong nawalang kargamento kahit na ano sa loob. So, ibig sabihin, totally po nahuli namin yung shabu. Wala pong nawala kahit piso. Totally, hindi na ho nakalabas ang customs. So, ibig sabihin, may kasabot na yun doon sa district office or port na pagbabagsakan kung sino ang tuturuawi ng kargamento na yon, anong oras, anong gabi, or kaya ipaparalyze yung computer para mailabas po yung illegal na droga.
Ano na, gagana na yung
Brownout.
Tara, yung magic lifter, saka yung mga
Yes.
magic x-ray, no?
Yes, Your
Sir
Honor.
Jimmy.
Opo.
Mr. Chair, for a few questions na lang po. What has the BOC done? Kasi naging malaking issue to eh. So what are they doing now na para hindi po mangyari ulit to? Mabawasan o what has been their moves? Kumbaga, ano pong ginagawa nila para i-improve yung system, totally matanggal na o malesen man lang po yung mga ganitong problema natin, Mr. Chair. Anyone from the BOC can answer.
Mr. Chair, we have learned from this experience, from this incident involving this EMT case, Your Honor, so that in the parameters, we have improved the parameters that was inputted by the Risk Management Office, so that this kind of importers, EMT was I think a relatively new importer, but it was able to qualify, or he was nakalagay siya sa green lane. So, from this experience, hindi na po pwede yun, sir, na ang isang relatively new importer with no parang history, very short history, hindi na pwedeng pumasok as green lane. So ito lang yung mga na may history na walang violation, sir.
But again, Mr. Chair, parang these are minor improvements from what we're expecting, no? Kasi syempre, siguro I would like to ask the BOC as well. In one of your meetings or yung mga, syempre meron kayong mga ginagawang security measures. No? Was anyone in the meeting suggesting or even considering third party or upgrading of systems or additional security measures po?
Currently, the Bureau of Customs is in the direction of pre-shipment inspection from the port of origin, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Last na lang po kay Sir Jimmy siguro at saka kay Sir Mark. Siyempre po, matagal na po kayo dyan. I mean, si Sir Jimmy, si Sir Mark, medyo mas masasabi niyo po ba na yung TARA system din po ang naging problema? At saka kung saan na kayo ngayon, yung sistema na yun na parang naging way of life, hindi ganun ka-foolproof. Tapos kayo pa po yung nadiin. Parang ganun na po yun eh. Ganun na pong dating nun eh. Naging biktima po kayo ng isang sistema na kinasanayan po sa BOC.
Yes po, Your Honor.
So sabi nga ni Kong Jingy kanina, yung fall guy talaga. Yung nangyari sa inyo, kayo yung mga fall guy. Pero for my last question, sir, kung meron po bang representative dito, sa mga nag-file po ng cases against you, bakit kayo po yung agad na mga finailan nila? Ano po ang kumbaga anong inspirasyon nila? Ba't kayo agad? Yun napasok at nabigyan na file ng sunod-sunod na mga kaso.
Your Honor, sa case ko po ay pinaka-worst po yun dahil magkasama kami ng PDEA na nanghuli. I'm sure they were present today. Wala kaming pinakawalan kundi tinorn over properly sa PDEA. Then during the Senate hearing, nandun lang kami. I don't know what was the reason bakit nagkaroon ng conspiracy to import. Na present po ang PDEA during the time of the apprehension. Then the magnetic lifter loaded with shabu was also apprehended inside of the area of the Bureau of Customs. Hindi po nakalabas. Hindi pa po na-examine, kundi that was already an abandoned shipment. And hindi po namin makuha bakit po yung personnel ng Customs ay hindi po ginalaw, hindi nakasuhan. Bakit ako na isa sa mga nanghuli, ako po ang kinasuhan. Kasama po si then late Colonel Pajardo at saka si Colonel Asierto, then the rest. Ang pinaka-worst pa po noon, may umadmit pa kung sino ang may-ari ng kargamento na hinuli namin.